talking about a bit of console war business, but
2025 and we still talking about console wars, man.
a very strange topic. The biggest game
The only thing strange here is the fact that you a grown man and you out here talking about console wars, bro. Come on, man. You could have did a far better outlook for your channel, but nope. Yet again, Dreamcast guy never fails in regards to Xbox propaganda.
2024 by far was Black Myth Wukong. It had millions of concurrent players, it just burned up the Steam charts, and it was only on when it came to consoles. You had to buy it on PlayStation. In fact, it sold a lot of PS5s.
And no, it didn't, bro. You see, the funny thing is, you PlayStation fanboys want to run with these false narratives, man. This game had most of its success on PC, and you people know it. No different than Helldivers 2. Last time I checked, man, everybody on my PlayStation friend list wasn't playing this game, and maybe just 1 out of 100, but that's it. I've actually seen more people on Helldivers 2 than I've seen on Black Myth Wukong on PlayStation.
There have been rumors circulating. A lot of journalists and stuff have officially on record said that even though it's not publicly being talked about, Sony paid for this to be exclusive.
Oh yeah, they most definitely did, bro. Because you even go as far to say at the end of this video, right, because I've already watched it, that, oh yeah, Sony has some involvement in it. So you don't think Sony would say, hey, lock this game on our platform for a few years or a few months? Come on, man. You people know it, man. Sony has been doing this since the PlayStation 1, bro. Like, how can you guys say that you've been gaming for this long and not know that Sony's been doing these, these secret deals behind the scenes, bro? Everybody's fully aware of this. Nintendo used to do the same thing with the NES and the Super Nintendo until Sega decided to fight back in the courtroom. And guess what? Nintendo couldn't do it no more.
And it turns out that's not true. It just turned out the director of the game...
Oh, no, it's true.
...about 2 hours ago posted a statement that they can't get it to run on Xbox.
That's a load of nonsense, because the fact that the game can run on the Steam Deck has no reason as to why the game can't run on the Series S. The Series S is far more powerful than the Steam Deck. What do you people don't understand? And yet, the game has no issue running. This is a developer issue. I don't care what any of you people, oh, well, he said, I don't care if he said it. People lie all the time. Just like these people lied that the PS5 Pro was 36 teraflops and y'all only got about 15 to 16, just like when Sony said, oh, the PS5 Pro is going to enhance all your PlayStation 5 games, just to find out on a case-by-case basis that that's not true. That's not true either.
Xbox is just so underpowered.
How is the Xbox underpowered? The Xbox was the most powerful console until the Pro came out. Let's not forget. Now, if you want to talk about the Series S, all it is just a downgraded version of what the Series X can do at a lower resolution. I mean, the fact that the Steam Deck can run Black Myth Wukong should show you that this game should also be able to run on the Series S. There's no excuse, man. The developer just doesn't want to put it on that platform because we already know the reasons as to why. And we'll get to that point at the end of the video. You will see.
Continuing to delay it, and it may actually take years of practice. That's the actual words he's using.
And what's funny about this, man, isn't AMD scalable? Wasn't that the whole philosophy as to why Microsoft and Sony used it in the first place? I mean, according to Porter Rock, right? They wanted to go with the architecture of x86 and how it'd be more easy for developers to make games on it, right? Because that was his justification as to why Sony went with these specifications for the PlayStation. So that also goes as far to show you that they could do the same thing for the Series S. They just don't want to, and we already know the reason. Oh, y'all conspiracy theory. That's why I don't like you, everybody. No, because we think outside the box. No pun intended. I mean, we don't sit there and just take information for face value. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's correct right there. No, we're gonna sit there and question things, and people have that right to be able to do that. Because the fact that the game can run on the Steam Deck is all the proof that I need to know that there should be no issue with this game coming to the Xbox Series S. End of story.
Years of practice to get their games to run on Xbox, but let's take a look at it. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please, it's possible to get it without several years of optimization experience. This is wild. This is straight up them saying, yeah, we could get it to run on an Xbox Series X, but as we all know now, Microsoft has a very strict guideline. if it runs on Xbox Series X, it has to run the exact same on Xbox Series S. You're allowed to sacrifice like frame rate or ray tracing or some stuff, but it has to be the same gameplay. It has to be the same game. You can't get like a crappy 720p version and like it.
Well, what are you talking about? That's exactly what the Xbox Series S has been getting: 720p, 60 FPS, 1080p, 60 FPS on some games. Some games run at 720p on the Series S. It's not the resolution. It's the fact that if the game is functional, they're not going to allow you to release a broken mess of a game because developers don't want to do what they want to do for the gaming community. And the fact that you guys would rather jump on the bandwagon because of your little PlayStation fanboy nonsense propaganda towards Xbox, instead of saying, you know what, that's a load of crap. This game should also be able to run, right? It's a scalable platform. You should be able to run this game on the Series S. The fact that it runs on the Steam Deck is not a good excuse. Sorry, Black Myth Wukong developers. The end. Because you guys always talk about time and time again how these developers are single-handedly putting out these lazy projects out, but yet when it comes to Xbox, it's because you want to blame them. But if it happens to Sony, they're like, oh no, it's their fault. Like, what are you talking about, bro? It's so funny that when there's a bad running game on PlayStation 5, they want to sit there and blame the developers. But if it's a bad running game or a game that can't come to Xbox, they say it's Xbox's fault. You guys do the same thing. You guys are so predictable.
Upscaled, crazy co-op version. It has to be the same game on all consoles.
I mean, I would
and
hope so.
A lot of developers have said, honestly, how difficult that is to get a game to run on two separate consoles that are so different in packaging.
Then how do they get the game to run on PC? People have different PC builds, but yet people are not. I mean, this game does have its own fundamental issues, even on PlayStation 5. But what issues do they have on PC? People have different gaming rigs on PC, and yet for some reason, which this game happens to be the most successful on, people had no problem there. So what is the issue with the Series S? We already know the issue. Sony paid for some secret exclusivity deal. Sorry, I'm gonna stand strong on that.
Howard, it's not an easy task. So they're straight up saying that even though a bunch of people have said, the insiders, the reporters that have been saying Sony is paying for the exclusivity that the developers have done on Xbox, they're just waiting to release it. Turns out that's not true. Now, what I did find interesting is that Xbox fanboys, but a lot of people are instantly attacking the developers and calling them lazy, saying games like Hellblade 2 or Indiana Jones look incredibly good. Yeah. Those are able to run on an Xbox Series S and not just run, but run good. So it's not like they're, running at 20 FPS or having freeze up or crashes. They're basically saying, okay, if bigger games that are more beautiful than Black Myth Wukong, and I say that as a person that does like the game doesn't look that crazy spectacular. The fact that they can't get it to work, it's probably just that optimization does take a lot of really good trial, basically even fit on a Series S, right? Now, part of the reason I played this is a big deal, and part of the reason people are...
They just don't want to downsize the game, bro. They're that lazy, bro. Like, it's crazy. All they have to do is downgrade the resolution. There you go. The game would run. Like you said, the game is not even that crazy graphically. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's games that are on Xbox Series X and S that look way far better than Black Myth Wukong, and they have no problem running it. I mean, think about it. If Indiana Jones proved anything, that the Xbox Series S has power. Let's not forget, even you mentioned that. It runs at, 1080p, 60 frames per second, consistent, no drops, just as good as its older brother, bigger brother, Series X. We all know that. There's no excuse for this garbage, bro. I don't care what any of you people are saying.
Officially chiming in on the record saying it's not an Xbox exclusive because it's got an exclusivity deal with PlayStation.
Just listen.
It can't come to Xbox until some sort of deal is up, that Sony paid for the exclusivity.
Just listen.
This is Paul Tassi saying it. There's, of course, Jez Cornyn. Wukong never mentioned Xbox Series S, to be frank. Also, 100% again, don't attack these people. I'm not laughing in their faces, but it is kind of strange that for whatever reason, these journalists, especially people like Paul Tassi and stuff, these guys do have an inside scoop. So the fact that all these guys officially, on the record, through their publications...
just get to the point, bro. Nobody cares.
They're journalists. Well, maybe they consider themselves bloggers. But my point is the fact that they would come out and say, no, This is not that the Xbox is a piece of plastic. It is
I mean, the Xbox is a piece of plastic.
specifically that Sony is paying for
Maybe
it.
it's a little bit more, to you because you're engaged with your PlayStation 5. You're probably married to it. So, obviously you look at these inanimate objects as your girlfriend. But yeah, it's a piece of plastic.
Now, the extra wrinkle to this that we really don't know about is if Sony helped with development. It seems like they did to some degree. So,
There you go. You just exposed yourself. Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. There you go. You just gave it up, bro. What did I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you? So if Sony helped develop the game, what do you think that would mean? That would mean that they'll be like I said, this is one of those so-called quote-unquote joint ventures. When you have a company that's invested into a certain third-party game, more than likely the game will be exclusive for some time on the platform. This has been going on since the Nintendo GameCube with the Resident Evil remakes. What do you people don't understand? Like, you get what I'm saying? Yes, I don't think Sony owns Black Myth Wukong, but the fact that they probably funded and helped some of the development. So, this Chinese company probably says, we owe our lives to you, Sony. You helped us. So that's why we'll keep it locked for your platform, because it also helps benefit Sony, and it also helps benefit the Black Myth Wukong creators, the developers. It only makes perfect sense, but let's rewind that again for the ponies in the back that don't understand.
Now, the extra wrinkle to this that we really don't know about is...
So how come we don't know about it, Dreamcast guy? Because, like you said, or should I said that they don't talk about these things. Why would Sony let the audience know about these little type of deals that they got going on?
If Sony helped with development, it seems like they did to some degree. So something that PlayStation has been doing for, it seems like the last couple of years.
They've been doing it since PlayStation 1. I remember back in the days, guys, they're like, make the game exclusive for us, Square Enix. We'll do all your publishing rights for free. All right, you don't have to pay us a publishing fee. We'll publish the game, we'll promote the game, but it has to stay on this platform. They've been doing this since the beginning, bro. They've been doing this since the PlayStation 1, bro. Like, what do you people don't understand, man? And companies gravitate to, okay, we ain't got to pay for those publishing fees and stuff. No, we'll take care of it. But you got to make sure it has our logo and make sure that it only stays on the PS1 platform. Okay, that's all. Sony's probably known for timed exclusivity. They've been doing it since PlayStation 1.
Ever since the PS5 came out, there have been multiple sources that have discussed this, and it's a pretty public knowledge.
You don't even need sources. You just have to look at gaming history, and you will see that Sony's been doing the same thing for 3 decades.
What Sony will do is, for the bigger projects, the stuff that is probably going to sell PlayStations, to be clear, they send some of their own devs to help out. Maybe even if they don't do it physically, sometimes they'll send extra dev kits or teach them tips and tricks, extra ways to optimize it to get games to not just run better on the PS5, but sometimes even come out sooner in the PS5. If they say, hey, here's how we got this to work. Here's some engine strips. Here's some ways we can get this.
So this company probably feel like they owe Sony something by putting the game on their platform. And Sony does prioritize their platform in a way where they're like, hey, guys, this game might potentially push consoles for us or push sales or push anything. So yeah, we'll help you there. We'll probably put some funding. We'll send some developers, help you with the kit, help you understand the PS5. But that game cannot go to Xbox. And Black Myth Wukong says, okay, thank you, Sony. It's just like when you do a favor for somebody, right? Like if you do a favor for somebody, man, right? You scratch his back, he scratch your back. That's kind of the philosophy that's going on here. You know what I'm saying? If you guys act like y'all never did this in your own personal lives, then that shows you that you people ain't living in reality, because people do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or I bought somebody something and somebody says, I'm going to get you this time because, you got me that last time. I mean, come on, guys, bro. Really? Like, it's pretty easy to understand as to why this is happening, but it's okay. You can keep this game on PlayStation because I don't think that game's all that impressive anyway.
To run even better, and it'll save you the time from coding, background stuff, light refraction, any little stuff to get the game out quicker so they can sell more copies of it on PlayStation. I
don't think they care about selling the game on PlayStation like that. I just think, like I said, if they could make it multi-plat, they would have made it multi-plat. Well, I mean, they kind of did. They put it on PC and PlayStation, right? There's more than enough proof to know that, hey, we still went multi-plat. But Sony clearly has an agenda. You can see it from their own company. You can also see it from their fanboys. they don't like Xbox. You can tell. The PlayStation fanboy community is all being designed by the PlayStation company themselves. Remember, this is the same company that say, "Hey, plumber boy from Nintendo, hey," not knowing that they had a fake 3D platformer and Nintendo gamers had a real one. "Hey, 3D boy, hey, plumber boy, remember me? I'm Crash Bandicoot." Microsoft should do the same thing to Sony headquarters, have a guy dress up in a Crash Bandicoot outfit and say, "Hey, Sony, remember me? You thought you owned me, but you never did it."
Pretty conclusively, I think this has even been pretty publicly, even if not explicitly said. I think there's actually some Sony developers in the credits of Black Myth Wukong who helped with development. I wonder if Xbox needs to do that. If Xbox needs to have a team that goes out and says, here's how.
Well, it's the same thing with Power World, though. Power World, they did the same thing. They had the game drop on Xbox. Microsoft probably gave them a little bit of money, so they felt like, "Oh, okay, Microsoft, we owe you. We'll keep it on the platform for a little bit, and then we'll drop it on PlayStation." It is what it is, bro. It's the same philosophy.
The Xbox Series S work. My thinking is that as bad as this sounds, because it does sound incredibly bad, I'm curious what this means for the Xbox handheld. There is talks that right now they're going full steam ahead on some sort of...
I don't care what you have to say, but at the end of the day, the fact that this game runs on Steam Deck is more of a reason as to why... It's just the excuses, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would prefer if they just didn't say anything, but it's just like when you throw out excuses like that saying, "Oh, the game can't run on the Series S because such and such," when there's far more impressive games running on the Series S than what you're getting with Black Myth Wukong, then yes, people have every right to call cap on this. They have every right. And that's what people are doing, and everybody should be, like I said, rightfully calling this out because, like I said, man, it is what it is. It doesn't personally bother me. If Sony want to do these little side deals like they did with Street Fighter V, they don't own Street Fighter, but they funded that particular game, which means they have some form of ownership to the game. That's why that game hasn't dropped elsewhere. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that Street Fighter V hasn't dropped on any other platform besides PC? So there you go. There's your answer already. So like I said, Sony's going to do this. This is their way of thinking that, "Oh, we're going to control the market over Microsoft." They don't want Microsoft to have that much control. You feel me? Even if Sony got to do these little side games or these little indie projects, they don't want Microsoft to have the full ultimate control, which they clearly do because they got the money control. They got that Bethesda and Activision control, the games that PlayStation fanboys like. I think they specifically went out there and bought them because they're like, "You know what? We can make a lot of money off these ponies." That's what they probably said. They just relying on Activision and Bethesda. They probably looked at the sales metrics like, "Oh, wow, a lot of people play these games on PlayStation. Huh, we might as well buy them." So when these fanboys want to go buy an Xbox game on PlayStation, they supporting us. A bunch of dummies. Got Phil Spencer smoking on his Cuban cigar. A bunch of dummies thinking they're not supporting Microsoft, but they're giving more money to us than they give it to Sony. That's all that's going on here, man. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, bro, Dreamcast guys started this year with a bang of 2025 of console wars. Unbelievable.